Some call Danny Greene the most influential mobster you've never heard of. Well, if you're from Cleveland, you know how the Danny Greene story goes. Irish mobster goes to the dental office in Lyndhurst, car blows up, kills Danny Greene. Well, this is a story that Hollywood filmmaker Tommy Reid has been working on for almost a decade. There's a film in progress and a documentary, and you just might see those cameras around town this weekend. Tommy Reid, it's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
We should say you and I have roots. We went to Ohio State together, and I think it was all the way back then when you first started talking about Danny Greene.
I heard about it back in college from a good friend of mine who also went to Ohio State, and I just didn't believe it. I have Irish-Italian roots from North Jersey, and to hear a story that has both my roots in it, Irish and Italian, was just truly remarkable here in the state of Ohio, and I never really heard about it. No, I don't think anybody outside of Cleveland really has heard about this history that went on here.
I know, as you mentioned, you're from New Jersey, a strong Irish family, so nothing that your father ever told you about? I mean, when you went to him with this guy, Danny Greene, did he say, oh yeah, I knew about him?
No,
so much?
no. I think you know, it was still over 31 years ago is when he passed, and it just kind of just went and just kept into this containment, I think, here of North Ohio. And you always think that the Cosa Nostra, the mafia, or whatever, started out of the East Coast. And if you know, when you start doing your research, you find out that it kind of was in northern Ohio, between here and Youngstown, and it's just fascinating research that you find out.
When you spend so much time dedicated to this one project, I mean, I know how passionate you feel about getting this story told and getting it onto film. What is it that you find so fascinating about this man? What do you think people will really, they'll just be glued to watching about him?
Well, you know, Andrea, there's two sides to every story, and there's so much that you don't get to hear about is telling both sides of the story. And finding so much about Danny Greene from both sides, you can draw up your own conclusions, of course, but there are some things that, you know, were fascinating about the man.
Where did he grow up?
He grew up in Collinwood, and, you know, protected that area very much. And what was so fascinating is that he actually took on an organized crime department with, like, the mafia. You know,
how did he even get involved with that in the first place? Because did he grow up pretty much like under the radar, didn't really get into trouble, or was he kind of a troublemaker even as a young person?
Well, that's stuff that you're gonna have to watch for the documentary and everything, and that's where we're still doing our work. But you know, he's so fascinated with. I don't think he understood how an organization would work to ask permission for certain things, and I think that he decided to take on things himself, which is that right there contains his legacy, is that the mafia tried to kill him numerous amounts of times and have him murdered, and he survived them. And his folklore started building amongst not only his community but the boys in the hill. And he just started becoming like, can we ever get him? Can we get this Irish guy? He started living his 9 lives, if you will. And it's just truly fascinating that a man like him survived, and he kept on building more, and then the legend just started building more around him. Can we ever get him? Can we ever get this guy?
Obviously, eventually, it's no secret that they did. So the documentary that you're filming, what parts of Cleveland, because I know people always get so excited from here. I mean, Spider-Man 3, they shot something here. Denzel Washington came in and shot a film. Of course, we mentioned George Clooney, he was shooting here. So in this area, we really get excited to see parts of our city shot. Where are you filming, and where have you been filming?
All over. Murray Hill, Collinwood. You know, those were the, you know, two parts were divided. I didn't know how ethnic Cleveland really was, with, you know, certain parts of Italian, certain parts of Irish, certain parts of Slovak, and kind of like, you know, you see how cultured Cleveland is. So we've been all over, especially downtown where some of these historical, you know, events did take place. With organized crime in this city back in the 70s. So
this is going to be a documentary. Is that normal for a documentary to come out before a film comes out, before a feature film?
I'm hoping that the documentary actually pushes the movie, which is based off of Rick Perillo's book, To Kill the Irishman, The War That Crippled the Mafia, into a higher level of awareness. so it helps the movie go faster. And we have a tremendous director on board named Jonathan Hensley, who's directed a lot of big films and wrote a lot of big films. So I think that we're really excited about the potential of getting an A-list actor like your buddy George Clooney, who would be a great Danny Greene. But someone like that, just to bring out the awareness of it, of the story, really. I have a great crew that's working their butts off, and I don't think anyone will ever catch us, you know, in Cleveland, because we're going to be in and out, you know. But we're doing really well. We're having a fun time.
So this is, you're hoping a year, which would mean that eventually, hopefully in a year, people will be able to catch this documentary. And then the film, you know, initially your sister was, you were thinking about having your sister Tara Reid, who a lot of people know in the film. Is that something that's still a possibility, or it's really hard to say with schedules?
Well, you never know. You know, of course, like if I didn't say yes, I think Tara would be mad at me for having her be a producer and an actress, not just a producer. But I would say that you know, the intention was to first. When I told my sister this story, she was just like, "Oh my God, we're Irish Italian. You know, this is like both of our sides of our heritage. This is great." And you know, we had a role in there for her, and I think as 10 years go by, she's not that, you know, girl anymore. She's more of a woman.
I should say 10 years ago, this is us, all 10 years ago, basically.
I know.
Here's a picture.
Here we go.
When we went to an MTV New Year's Eve party together. There you are. You have a very close family, and so I know that that helps, that you have the support of your family to put a project like this together. And something else, real quickly, I know we have to go, but you have something else coming out as a 7-10 split?
I did. I just made a comedy with another Buckeye. Actually, there was 6 Buckeyes total in there. 2 of them were cast. One was a great friend of ours, Ross Patterson, who wrote the movie and starred in it, and also Heisman Trophy winner Eddie George.
Oh, well, gosh, around here we'll definitely have to 7-10 split.
7-10 split, absolutely.
Tommy Reid, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Absolutely. Happy St. Patrick's.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. See, and he did say he's Irish.
That's right.
Italian. All right. Well, now stay with us. Coming up, we're going to be headed into the